Hi everyone, good morning. It's Thursday, the 23rd of April. I am Victoria from Ask the Angels, and today I felt, I've just got some incense coming around my face. Today I just felt drawn to doing two things together. I got really clearly about reading from this book, The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho, and also choosing a card from a deck that I'm drawn to it seems at the minute, to choosing decks of cards that I don't necessarily use a lot, from this Numerology deck by Buchanan. So I pulled a card from that, and I also sat for a minute and flipped through this book, and about 3 times it wanted to go to the same place before I opened it. So that's the page that I've gone to. I don't know if you know this book. I've read it a few times, and it definitely is worth a read if you've got some time at the minute to do some reading. The Alchemist. So it is, I'm going to read to you from page 42, which is in the first part, because the book, this is just before the end of part 1. It's about with the crystal merchant. So I'll read it to you and then I'll show you the card that came today. It says, the crystal merchant awoke with the day and felt the same anxiety that he felt every morning. He had been in the same place for 30 years, a shop at the top of a hilly street where few customers passed. Now it was too late to change anything. The only thing he had ever learned to do was buy and sell crystal glassware. There had been a time when many people knew of his shop: Arab merchants, French and English geologists, German soldiers who were always well heeled. In those days it had been wonderful to be selling crystal, and he had thought how he would become rich and have beautiful women at his side as he grew older. But as time passed, Tangier had changed. The nearby city of Ceuta had grown faster than Tangier, and business had fallen off. Neighbours moved away, and there remained only a few small shops on the hill, and no one was going to climb the hill just to browse through a few small shops. But the crystal merchant had no choice. He had lived 30 years of his life buying and selling crystal pieces, and now it was too late to do anything else. He spent the entire morning observing the infrequent comings and goings in the street. He had done this for years and knew the schedule of people who passed. But just before lunchtime, a boy stopped in front of the shop. He was dressed normally, but the practiced eyes of the crystal merchant could see that the boy had no money to spend. Nevertheless, the merchant decided to delay his lunch for a few minutes until the boy moved on. A card hanging in the doorway announced that several languages were spoken in the shop. The boy saw a man appear behind the counter. "I can clean those glasses in the window, if you want," said the boy. "The way they look now, nobody's going to want to buy them." The man looked at him without responding. "In exchange, you could give me something to eat." The man still said nothing, and the boy sensed he was going to have to make a decision. In his pouch, he had his jacket. He certainly wasn't going to need it in the desert. Taking the jacket out, he began to clean the glasses. In half an hour, he had cleaned all the glasses in the window, and as he was doing so, 2 customers had entered the shop and bought some crystal. When he had completed the cleaning, he asked the man for something to eat. "Let's go and have some lunch," said the crystal merchant. He put a sign on the window, and they went to a small cafe nearby. As they sat down at the only table in the place, the crystal merchant laughed. "You didn't have to do any cleaning," he said. "The Quran requires me to feed a hungry person." "Well then, why did you let me do it?" said the boy. "Because the crystal was dirty, and both you and I needed a chance to cleanse our minds of negative thoughts." When they had eaten, the merchant turned to the boy and said, "I'd like you to work in my shop. 2 customers came in today while you were working, and that's a good omen." People talk a lot about omens, thought the shepherd, but they really don't know what they're saying. Just as I hadn't realised that for so many years I had been speaking a language without words to my sheep. "Do you want to go to work for me?" the merchant asked. I can work for the rest of the day, the boy answered. I'll work all night until dawn, and I'll clean every piece of crystal in your shop. In return, I need money to get to Egypt tomorrow. The merchant laughed. Even if you cleaned my crystal for an entire year, even if you earned a good commission selling every piece, you would still have to borrow money to get to Egypt. There are thousands of kilometers of desert between here and there. There was a moment of silence so profound that it seemed the city was asleep. No sound from the bazaars, no arguments among the merchants, no men climbing to the towers to chant, no hope, no adventure, no old king or destinies, no treasure and no pyramids. It was as if the world had fallen silent because the boy's soul had. He sat there, staring blankly through the door of the cafe, wishing that he had died, and that everything would end forever at that moment. The merchant looked anxiously at the boy. All the joy he had seen that morning had suddenly disappeared. I can give you the money you need to get back to your country, my son, said the crystal merchant. The boy said nothing. He got up, adjusted his clothing, and picked up his pouch. I'll work for you, he said. And after another long silence, he added, I need money to buy some sheep. I hope that served today. And so I'll show you the reading. Again, it's from this numerology book by Michelle Buchanan. And the card is number 13, a lucky number in my book. And the card is effort. And it says the card indicates a time when extra effort is required to overcome your current obstacles and challenges, as you're now being tested and your attitude is key. It's saying rather than surrendering to self-pity, worry, fear, negativity, frustration, laziness, you must use your inner power, for you are stronger than you think. When the going gets tough, the tough must get going and put some effort and action in. So it's saying, pull yourself together and have faith in your success, in your abilities. If you're worrying about certain things, your job, your money, just put in some effort. I know it's difficult. Just keep going. Look at how you can be of service. Try to support where you can and just keep trusting and have faith in that bigger picture. It says, by drawing this card, you're being encouraged to call on your inner and outer resources to achieve the outcome you desire. Rather than succumbing to quick fix solutions, shortcuts, or manipulation, you must plan, focus, and act with tenacity and drive. With effort and determination, you will break through all restrictions you are presently being held back by. So it's asking you to put in that extra effort to overcome your challenges. Never, ever give up. Your success is guaranteed. Wow. So I hope that helps. The reading, the gentleman having his store after 30 years. And if you go on to read the book, you'll see what an amazing story that ends up to be. Also for the boy on his journey of spirituality. And this card is guaranteeing you success. It's just asking you to keep putting in effort, keep showing up, keep trusting, don't give up. Sending you lots of love on this Thursday. Hope you're all well, and I'll connect with you all soon. Bye everyone, take care.